I'm back in the building room, and this is day 2 of building. I was really proud of what I got done on day 1, and I'm ready to get this portion of the wall built up. But before I do, you guys want to see it light up? Okay, here we go. Pretty cool, right? I'm hoping that the camera's actually picking up on it. Sometimes it just like blurs the light together, but I think it's gonna look really awesome. If I remember correctly, I think that this is a little bit lower than the height of this. So I'm gonna do a slight slope that way. There is one side of the crystal that is flat and does go straight up along a brick, but then the other ones aren't. So then you have to know that, kind of work around it. So this is taller than the height that I was going for, but that's okay. I'll just need to slope it in maybe a little bit faster. Okay, I just had to build up this extra extension on the back here, which I'm not happy with because I'm a little concerned that it's going to be too tight when I build up the outer wall here. But I'm going to have to try to make it work because I really was fighting this crystal. Oh, that looks pretty good. If I can get as much done as I did the other day, then I'll be doing pretty good. Oh, that's kind of cool, isn't it? Let's see here if we can just, now it's straight. Okay, I actually like that crack. It's kind of a bigger one, but I think it's gonna kind of look cool. Kind of looks like a backwards check mark. Check, it's done, we're good. I keep telling myself, just relax and go with it. Don't become, overly obsessive about making it look perfect. Just let it be organic, just kind of let it flow. And it's doing okay. Now, I do have this corner down here that I'm concerned about. I'm not sure, and I really love to work a crystal into it, but it is going to be a little bit tricky to work in here, I think, and have a crystal. Let's give it a go. Oops. A little piece popping up over there. I'd love for it to be coming out right there, but I don't know how I'm going to cover that clear plate there. But if you're looking in from here, if I hide it back too much in this hole, you might have a hard time seeing it. So maybe it could go right here. I'll be glad when all these crystals are in and I don't have to work with them anymore. I do not know what is happening here. Every single time I try to work with this area, the taller it gets, it becomes like angled. And I don't know if I have like a plate somewhere down in there that I'm not realizing and it's getting off. Because I put this in and it doesn't match up. It like starts sloping if I try to put in the next brick. What have I done? Not a clue. Not a clue. I still feel like it's off somehow and I'm gonna have a major problem later on. If I put this piece in, does it magically all stay together? It just feels like it's like a little wonky and I'm not sure why. Well, I've done something. Nope. Let's see. But if I push down in the wrong spot, the whole thing's gonna crash down, which I know I can do because I've done it before. I almost got this area built up, which I'm excited about. I feel like I made it really flat here, just like straight up, and then all of a sudden I'm going to start curving it in. And I don't know how that's going to look kind of weird, but I'm not overly paranoid about it because I can raise these up if I need to. So if I feel like I need a little bit more height, if these were a little short, I mean, I can just put more bricks on top, right? I'm the designer. I get to make the rules. At least I keep telling myself I get to make the rules, but I'm not sure if the bricks are listening. I kind of feel like they have a mind of their own. Getting a little bit worried I was gonna run out of bricks when it came to the outside, but I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna take some of the big mountain pieces and kind of work them in because I can get a lot of height doing that. But then I've made my base pretty narrow back here, and so I'm like, I'm not sure if it's gonna fit everywhere, but I'll figure it out. I think it's become wobbly because of the different angles that I'm putting over those windows, doors, to create the blue light behind it. And I think that I probably did some bad construction because maybe the angles weren't perfectly matching, and so maybe they were pushing, because I kind of feel like everything's a little tweaked and sometimes I have to really squish it to get it to go together. But I think so far it's feeling pretty stable everywhere else. And hopefully when I get the outer walls on it, then it'll kind of protect that weaker inner wall, so to speak. You wouldn't want to have an earthquake hit this region though, because it might come tumbling down a bit like Humpty Dumpty. I had an area that was so tight over here that I went ahead and built a pillar up that's going to have to be integrated into the outer wall because my base really is a little too narrow here. And that's not going to work actually because the lights won't go through. I can't fish the lights through if that's the outer wall. I have to have a space. I'm going to have to extend the base plate. So when my son and I were building, we'd always get into a fight because he had a very cluttered desk area with pieces all over the place. And I would be like, get the bucket out, get the piece you need, put it back in the bookcases so that we would never have a disaster. Now look at me. It's a total disaster here. I can just hear him being like, all those times you yelled at me to keep it clean and look at your desk. Yep. So I never told you the name of my dragon. He's Icy the Dragon. One of my daughters named him for me. Oh my goodness. Okay. So that means if I can do 2 days of building and get these inner walls kind of where I want them to be, then that means the next day I can actually start working on sloping them inwards and put the roof on. Of course, I just realized something. The roof would come from the outer walls. And here I was feeling so good about myself. I can't visualize if I'm doing this right, but it just seems to make sense to start working on the outer walls. So that's what I'm going to do and really hope that this works out for me. So I need to find my second strand of fairy lights. Got worried there that I'd lost them. It's been so long since I bought them. I need to test these. Yay! We are glowing blue. Okay, my mountain pieces. It'd be kind of nice if it came really straight up in the back and then kind of like sloped downwards. All right, so here it goes. I'm gonna have to start the outer wall, keeping in mind where all the crystals and all the panes are, working the lights in at the same time, and making the outside look pretty because you're technically going to see it a little more than you're going to see the inside. Oh my goodness, I am remembering something. This is what happens when you take forever to finish a build. I wanted to do something on the outside where it wasn't just a standard build up the bricks, but it was like more like plating. So I built up, where you have the modified brick that has the studs on the front, and then I would get plates and then I would put them on. I have no idea how to do that, but that was my original idea. Is it possible? I would need to run the lights and somehow secure them all through the walls so that is done, and then work up the outside because it's going to go down in much bigger sections. There's also another problem, which I'm remembering, because when I made my marmots, let me show you my marmots. These are my marmots. This is Alpine. He's a yellow-bellied marmot. I'm from Colorado, the mountains, and I love these guys. And I actually built him as a mascot for us here at Brickenridge. That's what we call our little brick world here. He is paneled all on the outside. So he has just kind of a base structure and then everything gets plated on. So I've done something similar. I've just never built a mountain out of it. Al is reminding me that when you use these outer bricks, they're not even. So like I have one on top, 2 regular bricks in the middle, and 1 on the bottom, and this will not go on. So because of the spacing, there either has to be 1 plate or 2 plates in between them, which is going to complicate things. Let me think. The 1 high bricks with the modified studs on the front does that, but does the 2 high? It doesn't. So I could use the 2 high and it's properly spaced as far as the spacing the rods on the back of the pieces. Well, I think I'm going to call it a day here on day 2, because if the next step is those lights, I'm going to need an early morning build time with a fresh cup of coffee, because that is going to be a little bit difficult, I think. So I really want to be at my best to put those in. So day 2 is a wrap. Thank you for watching, and I will be back to see you soon with my 3rd day of building.